The Yu-Gi-Oh! Core Booster Set Duelist Advance is going to be released in less than a week or two. But before that happens, the last batch of new cards have been added to the Core Booster Set. Some of which include OCG imports, World Premiere cards, and even added support for specific archetypes. So I'm not going to waste any time with this video. I'm just going to get straight into it. And hopefully you guys are ready. If you guys are and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And again, guys, be sure to subscribe if you have not done so already, because we are 179 subs away from hitting 500. So be sure to subscribe if you have not done so already. And with that being said, let's get down to it. Kicking things off, we actually have a couple new cards to talk about. Lunar Lights, yeah, I think I talked about the Lunar Lights on the channel. So excuse me. So first up, we've got Miracle Raven, which is a 1-star Fiend Ritual Pendulum. That's a rare sight to see. 300 attack and defense. Its pen scale is 0. The pen effect is a once per turn, and the ritual effect and the monster's effects are also once per turn. The ritual of the pendulum effect, reads as follows. Once per turn during your main phase, you can ritual summon this card by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal or exceed 1. Monster effects read, you can ritual summon this card with Miracle Raven. Must be ritual summoned. The ritual summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. If you ritual summon exactly one ritual monster with a card effect that requires use of monsters, this card you control can be used as the entire tribute. If this card is tributed for a ritual summon, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. This can actually work with decks like Megalith and oh, what's that one? Excuse me. What's that one other deck? Was it Drytron? Is it? It's either Drytron or it's something else. But it's pretty cool because you can literally use this card that's in the pen zone not only as the ritual spell, but also as to ritual summon it to your board, which is absolutely insane. And also this is basically pre-preparation right or sorry, this is basically Manju on a 1-star body, so that's actually not too shabby. Excuse me. Next up, we've got Reading of Rites. Which excuse me, which is a normal spell, and the effects read as follow. add one Fiend Ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Then, if you added a Pendulum monster, you can special summon one Sacrificial Offering token, which is a 1-star Dark Fiend, 300 attack and defense. While you control that token, you cannot special summon from the extra deck. When your ritual monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can banish the card from your grave and draw one card. You can only use each effect once per turn. So not only is this a tokens, a way to go into a Link 1 play, which is pretty cool, but you could also use the token to go into your ritual plays. You get to you can banish the card and basically get a +1 off of it. This is actually probably one of the best cards that we've had for rituals in a very, very long time. Absolutely incredible. The only downside is that ritual decks don't see play that much. Don't get played that much anymore. So the ritual based decks. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I've been tired. I've been so tired right now. Sorry. The only downside again is that ritual decks, they're not played all that much. Like, I know that Drytron was used a lot, and it used some of the Cyber Angel cards that that Alexis Rhodes used. I know that Megalith was used quite a bit a few years ago. After that, it just fell off, and it didn't really work out so well. So hopefully we get another ritual based archetype where it can actually abuse not only the spell but also the new Pendulum monster. It's very possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But next up we have Ashelon U-1000. Which is a light Cyber's Link 2 with 1400 attack, and its arrows are bottom left, bottom right, and requires 2 monsters with different types and attributes. The effects read as followed. If a ritual monster this card points to attacks a defense precision monster, inflict piercing to your opponent. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can reveal one ritual monster in your hand, add one ritual monster with a different type and attribute from your deck to your hand. If you ritual summon, except during the damage step, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So, hypothetically speaking, I would say you could add Thousand Eyes Restrict, Relinquish. The only problem is that Relinquish is a dark attribute, but it's also a spellcaster, so you can't really search that off of this new monster, this new Link 2. But what's cool about this is that you could, hypothetically speaking, add or actually funny enough, hypothetically speaking, you could add one of the Cyber Angels. You could add the Megalith, one of the Megaliths to your hand, which is pretty funny. So Cyber Angels and Megalith, hypothetically speaking, could abuse this card. But again, ritual based decks are just so slow, so you can't. So it's like almost impossible to play. But still, this card is not too bad, and you also get to bounce your opponent's cards to their hand, which is pretty insane. But what else is here? I I think everything else in this slot, in this part of the video, I've already talked about. The Luna Lights I talked about. Guild Gripping Morganite, I talked about that. Okay, so that's taken care of. The OCG imports that have been added to the core booster set. Um, every single one. I'm pretty sure that I've talked about these on the channel, but if I haven't, I will talk about them now. So first up, Galaxy War Drake, 4-star light dragon, 1500 attack and 1000 defense. Get a nice zoom in there, perfect. And the effects read as followed. If a level 4 light monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage tab, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it was there when the summon resolved, or grave even if not, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can target one of the level 4 light monster you control, make both that monster and this card level 8 until the end of the turn. Can only use each effect once per turn. Also, you cannot special summon the turn you activate either of this card's effects except for lights. Okay, so this can actually work, again, this can work with Galaxy Eyes, which is absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. This card is literally a 1-card rank 8 summon. So hypothetically speaking, you could go Wardrake plus I'll say Galaxy Summoner, make both of them level 8, and you instantly have yourself a rank 8 summon right off the bat, which is absolutely busted. Absolutely insane. Next up we've got Ukano. We have Ukano Mitsune no Tamayora. And again, because these were once V-Jump promos, I've already talked about these on the channel, so I'm not really gonna talk about them all that much. But Tamayora, its effect works with beasts, plants, and fairy-based decks. Basically, it says that if you have a level 4 or lower, like beast, plant, or fairy on your side of the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card gets used as synchro material for a synchro summon, excuse me, it gains 2 separate effects. The synchro monster in question gains 500 defense, and the other effect reads: your opponent cannot target this defense position card with card effects. You can only and both of this card's effects are once per turn. So this basically protects the synchro monster from being like targeted, destroyed, or anything like that, which is absolutely not insane, but pretty decent, I would say. Next up, Moon Magician, 4-star light spellcaster, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. If your opponent controls and exceeds monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon once per turn this way. If this card is normal special summon, you can target a level 4 light monster in your grave, except this card is special summoned but negates its effects. So this is basically Monster Reborn. This is basically Monster Reborn, but for light monsters. So hypothetically speaking, you could use this card in Galaxy Eyes, which is insane, mainly because of the fact that the entire archetype is all light. It's all light attribute for the most part. This card is absolutely nuts. Another perfect one card rank 4 summon, which is pretty cool. Moon Gardna is the last of the OCG imports. 4-star light spellcaster, a measly 100 attack, 2000 defense. If your opponent controls two or more monsters, you can special summon from your hand. You can only special summon once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summoned, and your opponent controls a monster, you can target a level 4 light monster in your grave, except this card, add it to your hand. Can only use this effect once per turn. So Moon Magician is Monster Reborn, and Moon Gardna is basically Monster Reincarnation. So it's two old cards, but two very powerful cards in on 4-star bodies, which is insane. Now we move into the world premiere cards that have been added to the set, and I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 cards, 6 world premiere cards to talk about. So let's get down to it. Yu-Gi-Oh, the Dawn's Light, and it actually kind of looks like a painting. Here, I'll try and zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see better. There we go. It literally looks like a painting that you would see at a museum, which is insane. Which is absolutely insane. Just gorgeous. It is gorgeous. 3-star Dark Fiend, 1000 attack, 1500 defense. And the effects read as follows. Monsters in your leftmost or rightmost main monster zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each effect once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can target a fiend effect monster you control, negates effect, and special summon this card. If this card is sent to the grave, you can add 1 Mutiny in the Sky from your deck to your hand. Okay. So, Mutiny in the Sky, I will talk about that here in a second. It's basically a spell that focuses on fiends, which is insane. So it's actually kind of cool because this card again acts as protection for both your leftmost and your rightmost main monster zones. Literally preventing your monsters from being destroyed by card effects. So cards like Darkhold, cards like Raigeki, Raigeki Break, or any monster destruction card, they can't destroy this. They can't destroy your monsters with card effects, which is busted. And it also, again, lets you add a copy of Mutiny in the Sky to your hand, and it also is a Cyber Dragon. So any deck that can abuse these cards, will be a very powerful force to be reckoned with. But next up, we've got Loose the Dusk's Dark. I literally had to say it very slowly so I could not mispronounce it. There it is. Absolutely crazy, you guys. Just the fucking artworks on these cards are fucking insane. Insane, you guys. 8-star Dark Fiend Fusion, 3500 attack, 3000 defense, and it requires 3 Fiend and or Fairy monsters in your grave. Monsters in your leftmost and rightmost main monster zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each effect once per turn. You can target 1 card your opponent controls, send a Fiend or Fairy monster from your deck to the grave, and if you do, destroy that card. If another card you control is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So this literally can pop. This can pop pretty much everything. This literally can pop everything that your opponent has, and the only way that you could stop them from even pulling any bullshit is by chain blocking them, preventing them from using imperm on this card, which means that if you activate another monster's effect, your opponent would literally have to imperm that one monster and keep, in order to stop that effect from resolving, making the opponent forget that this card has has an effect to pop pretty much everything. In a way, this card kind of reminds me of Unchained Abomination, where it can literally just pop everything. In battle, the end phase, literally it could just pop everything. So this card absolutely busted. Next up is Mutiny in the Sky. Obviously, you guys can tell it is a normal spell. The effects read as followed. Fusion summon a fiend or fairy fusion from your action deck by shuffling fiend and or fairy monsters from your grave into the deck as material. If this card is in your grave, you can send a fiend or fairy monster from your hand or face of field to the grave. Add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. This is definitely an easy 2 of. I feel like just because running 3 is just it would just break your hand completely, and that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing. But this is basically polymerization for whatever this archetype is. So enough said. It's basically polymerization, and you get to add this card back to your hand from your grave, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Steel Stringed Sacrifice. Let's see here. 1-star Light Warrior, 800 attack, 1000 defense. The effects read as followed. If this card is in your hand or grave, you can reveal a low 5 or higher monster in your hand. Then activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. During the end phase of this turn, lose 1000 life points. If you did not, normal summon the revealed monster or a monster with the same original name after activating this effect. Special summon this card from your hand. Add this card from your grave to your hand. Banish this card from your grave, and if you do, add a level 5 or higher monster from your grave to your hand. Okay, so this can literally this can do literally everything. Like it can be treated as a cyber dragon. You can add this card from your grave back to your hand, and you're also able to add a level 5 or higher monster to your hand. So hypothetically speaking, you could hypothetical scenario, you could run this card in decks like Cyber Dragon, decks like Drytron. You can run it in decks like Spirals as well, which is another really powerful deck. You could run this card in decks like potentially what else? True Draco, just to name a couple. This card is actually kind of sick. Being able to use this card in decks that use level 5 or higher monsters is pretty sick. Pretty sick. Next up, we've got Xyz Lay. And it's an equipped spell with the effects reading as follow. The equipped monster gains 200 attack for each Xyz material on the field. Once per turn, you can activate the following effect based on the equipped monster's card type. Xyz, detach 2 materials from a monster you control. Set 1 Xyz spell chart from your deck. Other, special summon a monster with the same level as the equipped monster from your hand in defense, but negate its effects. Okay, so it's not really the best equipped spell, but it's not the worst either. The only issue that I have is that, again, you don't see equipped spells get used all that much. Like, it's very, very rare that you would see equipped spells getting used in a deck like an Xyz based deck. Like maybe Xyz unit would be one. Because I know that with Xyz unit it gains, I think, like 200 or 300 attack or something like that for every rank that all Xyz monsters have on the field, which can make your Xyz monster's attack go up to 5,000, potentially like 6,000 attack or something like that, which even that alone is insane. This card, though, I wouldn't really say it's the best. I wouldn't say it's the worst, but I will say that it does have its interesting uses. Like, I know that it can be used in heroics. It can be used in Utopia. It can be used in sharks, in shark decks. Galaxy Eyes could potentially abuse this card a bit. So it's not too bad, but it's not too good either. But that brings us to the final card of the video, and the last card in the set that's been revealed, known as Psychic Omni Buster. Which is a 7-star Wind Psychic Synchro with 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuner psychics. The effects read as follow. Each time your opponent activates a card or effect on the field except during the damage step, you can pay 2,000 life points and declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, but you can only declare you can only declare each card type once per turn and activate this effect activate this effect of this card. Look at one random card in your opponent's hand, and if it is the declared card type, apply these effects in sequence. Skip over any that do not apply. This card cannot be destroyed by the effects of the declared type this turn. Banish that card you looked at face up until the end phase. So in a way, this is similar to Side Frame Lord Omega, where you can banish this card, where you could banish Omega and rip a card out of your opponent's hand, and banish that card until the next turn. In a way, it kind of works like that. The only downside that I have with this card is that I kind of figured I kind of figured it would have an effect similar to VFD, True King of All Calamities. Mostly because I feel like if this card had the effects of VFD, this card would be absolutely nasty. But it does have a way to rip cards out of the opponent's hands, forcing the opponent to use cards like Valor, cards like Imperm, way too early on a card like this. As far as the world premiere cards go, there are some decks that could abuse these cards. Decks like Dream Mirror, Burning Abyss, Dark Lords could potentially abuse them, but the only downside is that Dark Lords, you don't really see them get played all that much anymore, so it really doesn't make much of a damn. Zombie Vampire could be very funny. But still, honestly, these cards, absolutely insane. Could we see them get played at some point? Absolutely, but we'll have to wait and see over time. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.